right, welcome everybody. It's time for Holy Yid Squares, presented by Amudim and powered by our friends at Charity Biz. My name is Nachum Siegel. We have an array of great celebrities, as you heard during the introductions. We have two fabulous contestants, and we are ready to start this brand new round of Holy Yid Squares. To my right is the founder and the leader of Amudim, Rabbi Tzvi Gluck, and he's in the X podium. And to my left, the circle podium, is the king, the legend. Wouldn't you agree, Rabbi Tzvi Gluck?
Absolutely.
And that's, of course, the Rabbi Gluck, who was so instrumental in so many things, too many, countless to mention in this short introduction when it comes to being an Askin, when it comes to being a real community leader, which he has been doing for the last, what should we say, 70 years?
About
60 years?
more than 60.
More
Less
than 60 years,
70.
somewhere in there.
About 65.
Rabbi Gluck, a pleasure to welcome you to the show. I hope you're excited
yeah.
about the game.
Definitely.
There we go.
You're an expert at this game, right?
I'm an expert at every game.
Yeah, okay, just making sure. Let's have fun and let's help the people that need it.
Well,
No,
you're
get-
in the tic-tac-toe game, you're the circle and Svi is the X. And we're gonna be, but don't worry about that. I'll help you along with that. It's not
Don't worry,
hard.
we're playing
All you-
tic-tac-toe.
All
Don't
you
worry.
have to do right now is choose one of these
Okay.
9 celebrities to begin our game. Which one do you want?
Shlomo Levinger.
Here we go, Shlomo, in the bottom left. Welcome to the show. Are you all set?
Thanks for having me. I believe so, yes.
All right, we'll start with this one. The world's oldest living dog is this breed of dog. The world's oldest living dog is what breed?
Okay. Do I get multiple choice or I have to just answer the question?
You're not getting multiple choice on this one. I mean,
Because
come on, it's such an easy question.
I do think I know the answer. But I was just wanted the multiple choice to see if I was right. But I do believe I'm right. It's actually funny. I'm a magician. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but I was doing a show the other day, literally like 2.5 weeks ago. Someone asked me, somehow dogs came up, this person had a pet, and actually this was part of the answer. So I actually do know this. The answer is Dalmatian. That is the oldest. Yeah, that is the answer.
All right, the oldest living dog you say is a Dalmatian. Rabbi Gluck, you agree or disagree?
Disagree.
You disagree. The answer is Chihuahua, and circle gets the square. And we move on to the next. I do have to mention, Shlomo, you knew, after I knew who you rooted for in the World Series, is no, I was starting with an easy question for you.
Exactly.
You knew that. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
All right, Rabbi Tzvi Gluck, choose a celebrity, please.
We're going to go with Joseph Gittler.
Joseph Gittler, center square. All right, welcome to the show. Joseph, name the snare drum cymbal crash effect that's used to punctuate a punchline.
Okay.
Name the snare drum cymbal
snare drum.
crash effect that's used to punctuate a punchline. What do we call that?
Ba-dum-bum. Ba-dum-bum.
What do we call
I
that?
believe it sounds like this.
What do we call that?
I know the sound, but I can't come up with what it's called.
You want to guess? You want to give it a
Hey,
try before? It looks like you have people around you who are very anxious to jump in here, but nobody jump in, please.
An exclamation point. That must be the answer.
An exclamation move on the drums. Tzvi, what do you think?
I got to say, we always tell people, if you don't know, there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know. You
Not
know,
in this game.
But I guess in this game, we
were
always
told
know.
Not to say.
Right, but in this game, we always know. So, based on that, and if I'm wrong on this one, this is going to be really funny, but I will disagree, respectfully, of course.
The answer is the rim shot, and X gets the square, and we move on. Rabbi Gluck, let's see, what would be a good place to go to? Well, actually, anybody in the left side would be good. Anybody in the bottom would be good. Choose one of those celebrities.
Ellie Leibovitz.
Ellie, you all set?
Yeah, I think a comedian would have known the last one.
I would hope so. I would hope you've heard of plenty of those in your life. Ever since 1927, this annual recognition of global game changers has featured everyone from Mark Zuckerberg to Henry Kissinger, Adolf Hitler, and Ayatollah Khomeini. this annual recognition since 1927. What's it called?
See, it's interesting because every time this is so polarizing, especially these days, half the names on the list, I would be like, oh, that's probably not something they should have gotten in hindsight. But I'm going to go with Time's Man of the Year or Person of the Year.
Rabbi Gluck, do you think he's correct or
No, incorrect.
The answer is Time Man of the Year, and X gets the square. And now Rabbi Tzvi Gluck has himself in an amazing, amazing strategic position.
I would agree, except the person who I must call upon now has got to have my back on this one, if for no other reason, because I love his father. So I am going to call on the illustrious Harav Herschel Schechter Shlita's son, Harav Hagayin Yummy Schechter, to help me with the win.
Does Rabbi Schechter know he has a son who's a Rav Hagoyin? Does he know that? I'm just curious. Okay, so in short, we're going to Yummy for the win. And Yummy...
And I hope Tzvi Gluck knows that Rabbi Schechter's son doesn't know as much as his father knows. Would you like to choose someone else?
Here, let me prove it. Ta, do I think I know more than you?
Definitely.
Okay,
There
at
we
least
go.
we can admit it.
Nice
Open.
setup. It took a while to get there, but a good setup, I must say. All right, Yummy, we've got a question for you. And don't worry, Yummy, I'm using the proper list for this question. All right, the question is, when a German talk show host asked this United States comedy superstar why Germany didn't have anyone as funny as him, his response was, well, of course not. You killed them all.
This is one of my favorite stories of all time. And actually, I hate name dropping, but I was at lunch with Dave Chappelle, and Judah Michelle's gonna laugh right now. And it's very hard to tell a guy in comedy a joke or a story that they never heard, especially about one of the comedy greats. But when I told them the story about Robin Williams being on German talk radio and being asked by the host, why do you think comedy in America is so much more popular and why do you think it's not so popular in Germany? I believe his response was, you ever think that you killed them all? So I'm going to go with Robin Williams. And I'm also going to tell Tzvi, you picked the right guy for this one.
Tzvi, you asked him to have your back. What do you think? Agree or disagree?
When I used to watch the show as a kid, not with my father, obviously, soll sein gesund, there was always multiple choice. This is getting a little, but I'll say this.
We've discussed we may have to go with a balance of multiple choice
Yeah, the balance
questions,
is
but
almost
see.
like, the balance like everything else in life.
But you have a guy who's really confident about the answer. Why even worry about multiple choice? You have somebody who's telling you, I got your back. Tzvi, the victory is right there for you to grasp onto it. What do you want to do?
Yummy, I am going to agree with you for more reasons than one. Probably a few million reasons, considering how amazing you're doing and helping us with this campaign, and as have you done in the past, so that we can do what we do. So based on that, I am going to say agree.
Okay. Whew. We got to the answer. The answer is agree, and the answer is Robin Williams. Reb Tzvi Gluck, please congratulate your father in participating, and please tell him what his consolation prize is. Come on.
So, first of all, thank you for playing, and I have to ask you for Mechila. I apologize that I won. Out of respect, I shouldn't have. But I will join you for dinner.
There you go.
As a consolation prize for playing and trying to do what you can to help us, help Amudim, help others.
Rabbi Gluck.
Thank you.
I'll accept that offer very graciously, and I really appreciate it. And Tzvi, keep on the good work. Sei gesund. Bye.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Rabbi
you.
Gluck. Always a pleasure, to say the least. And thanks to you as well, Rabbi Tzvi Gluck. More Holy Yid Squares coming up. Round 2 is coming up, and then Tzvi will take on the winner of that round in our championship. Just keep it right here on Holy Yid Squares. Welcome back to Holy Yid Squares. It's time for round number 2 of our game. Holy Yid Squares presented by Amudim and powered by our friends at Charity Biz. And we've got a great contest shaping up. 2 wonderful contestants and, of course, 9 great celebrities. At the circle podium is David Kushner, Director of Government Relations for Amudim. David, all set for the
Good
the
to
game?
see you as always, Nachum.
Same here, thank you. And David Weingarten is at the X podium. He is the Director of Project Teal and Intern Supervisor at Amudim, and they're going to be playing against each other. The winner goes up against the boss, Rabbi Tzvi Gluck, who won round number 1. Backstage, we had our coin toss. X starts, and that means David Weingarten. It's time for you to choose a celebrity.
I'll start with Mayor K, straight in the middle.
Mayor K! All right. Welcome to the game, sir.
Great choice.
I think everybody thinks that. We'll start with this one. In Aish.com's roundup of the 25 funniest Jews in history, who describes the difference between comedy and tragedy as follows? Tragedy is when I cut my finger. Comedy is when you fall into an open sewer.
That's a very, very great question. As you guys know, I'm in the entertainment business for quite some time, and though I do crack some jokes here and there, I wouldn't consider myself a comedian per se, but I'm very well versed in this world. I mean, Ellie Leibowitz is here, a good friend, and others. But to answer your question, that's a fantastic lead up to a great startup to this show. And I would say to answer this properly would be the one and only Marx Brothers.
Okay, the Marx Brothers. David Weingarten, what do you think? Wow.
I love
Agree or
comedy,
disagree?
but this is a tough one. I should have picked a comedian for this one. That would have been great. Okay, I'm actually going to disagree.
The answer is Mel Brooks, and the center square becomes an X, and we move on to David Kushner. Who are you choosing?
I would have chosen Mayor K because I was looking to get a haircut out of this in the middle of the street. But I guess I'll go to our good friend Yisrael Abasur.
All right, Yisrael, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
The question is, this comedy legend, lots about comedy. I guess everyone thinks that you guys are very funny. This comedy legend likes to describe Yiddish as German with phlegm. Who is it?
Oh, I'm going to go straight with Woody Allen.
Woody
One
Allen.
of his classics.
David, what do you think?
Unfortunately, Yisrael, I have to disagree with you. I know that's rare, but in this case, I have to disagree with you.
And the answer is Billy Crystal, and circle gets the square. We move on to David. David, who are you choosing?
I'm going to go with Judah.
Judah Michelle, welcome to the show.
Let's do it.
Baruch Hashem, nice to see you, even in this forum. Another comedy question, my gosh, we're on such a roll. Why not stay with it? A 1998 Aish Torah Learnathon at UCLA resulted in a sit-down between Rabbi Daniel Mechanic and this very Jewish comedy genius. He asked Rabbi Mechanic to prove the existence of God. Who is that comedian?
I was a madrich in Aish Torah during that year. It was a Jerusalem Fellowship winter, and the answer is Larry David.
All right, David Weingarten, agree or disagree?
Another Aish question
Full
and
send.
a comedy question. I'm going to agree. I'm going to go with Larry David, because going with Larry David, when has that ever gotten anybody wrong?
The answer is Larry David. X gets the square. David Kushner, where are we heading to?
Well, we gotta try to block David Weingarten from winning this. So I'm forced to go with, and not unhappily forced, but I've every confidence in our good friend Shlomo Levinger.
You know he's best friends with the Houston Astros, the enemy. You know that, right?
Oh,
Still right?
listen, you already beat the Phillies. You can't beat me. Can't beat us twice in 1 week.
I hear that. All right, here we go, Shlomo. Your question is, what is the most expensive publicly traded stock in the world? What's the most expensive publicly traded stock in the world?
Okay, so this is probably a great question for Yummy because this is probably up his alley. But I would have to say, I actually have stock in this myself. I'm going to have to go with Apple.
The answer is Apple. Do you agree or disagree?
The answer is absolutely Apple.
And the answer is Berkshire Hathaway, which
Oh.
means X gets the square. But according to the rules, you cannot win the game by default. You have to actually earn the square, which means that David Weingarten, I would assume, is going to choose. I mean, this.
Yeah, I think I would go with right. So I can pick the same one, right?
Of course.
Shlomo Levinger, right?
Got to
okay.
go for the win here.
Pull some magic, right?
Here we go, Shlomo.
I'm getting a lot of airtime here, and I'm not getting a lot of questions right. So let's see how this goes.
Interesting. A very important hint for the contestant. Thank you. George Washington was born and died in what state? In what of the 50 states George Washington was born and died? Which one?
I mean, it's got to be Delaware, right?
He's answering Delaware. Do you agree or disagree?
Disagree.
The answer is Virginia, and David Weingarten wins the game, and the big championship round is coming up. Stay tuned. We have the big final round of Holy Yid Squares coming up. Welcome back to Holy Yid Squares, presented by Amudim and powered by our friends at Charity Biz. My name is Nachum Siegel. It's time for our championship round. David Weingarten, you remember him. He's in the X podium and the circle podium, the leader of Amudim, Rabbi Tzvi Gluck. I hope it's not a problem in case you beat the boss.
Have to see him at work tomorrow, so
You
this
know,
is going to be a lot of
it's my
fun.
greatest nachas when the employees do better. You know,
right.
We want to see them grow.
That's good to know in advance. David Weingarten, please choose a celebrity.
I'll go with Kalman.
Kalman Samuels, welcome to the show. And best regards to our friends at Shalva. I hope everybody's doing well.
All is good, Nachum.
Thank God. The British call them solicitors. Here in the United States, we know them as what?
Lawyers.
Agree or disagree? He said lawyers.
I agree.
He agrees. X gets the square. We're off to a great start. We go
Not
to
Mishalachim? All right, good thing you didn't ask me.
I was going to say, in the field of nonprofit, solicitors is fundraisers.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for today. So, I don't
Institutional
know.
advancement.
Institutional advancement,
please,
development, expand. We got all the... Judah, you want to come work for us?
Kalman, I didn't know if it was an
Mazaka
appropriate
people.
question for you. Now I've been proven right. What do you want?
By the way,
It's all about
viewers,
building.
I have a new joke for you.
You have a new
What
joke?
do you call a collector's son-in-law? Do you know that one?
No.
A Masholach son-in-law is called the collector's item. Okay, rim
Very
shot.
cute.
Joseph Gittler, that would be a rim shot right there.
There you go. Rabbi Gluck, go right ahead, sir.
I think we're going to go with Elon Smith. Elon, you got to help me out here.
Elon, center square, pretty prominent if you ask me. Welcome to the show. And here's your question. Fun fact for people who enjoy cleaning for Pesach. According to a study by the National Science Foundation, this is the dirtiest room in the house. What is it?
My kid's bedroom. Part up between the kitchen and the playroom. I'll go for the playroom.
He says playroom. What do you say, Rabbi?
So let me ask you a question. Elon, are you home for Pesach or you go away?
I'll go away.
So that's a good
But
reason.
I'm here for the 2 weeks before Pesach.
So I'm going to say I disagree.
The answer is the kitchen, and after all, that circle gets the square, the center square.
It's like
Exact.
Elon was coming with the comeback, though.
Kitchen.
Lolo Levinger, take notes.
David Weingarten, where to?
Okay.
Which celebrity?
I'm going to go with Ellie.
All right, Ellie. What do Canadians call a 5-cent piece?
Well, I actually, me and Yummy had coffee in Toronto when I was there a few years ago, and you know, I know that the Looney and Tooney pieces are a 5-cent piece, so I'm actually going to go with a nickel.
All right, agree or disagree, David?
Ooh, I know nothing about that. All right, Ellie, I'm going to agree with Ellie.
The answer is a nickel, and that means X gets the square, and
Wow.
now Rabbi
No
Tzvi
idea.
Gluck has got to increase his strategic method. I know, the irony. Look who's going to be picked.
How does that, I mean, like, seriously, this is a setup. Okay, I'm going with Rev Kalman Samuels again. I'm sorry. Can we move the squares over?
I've checked with the judges. That will not be possible.
Okay, in that case, I am going to go with the leader of charity bids, Yami Shachter.
Yummy, how does a lamb become a sheep? How does a lamb
become a sheep?
become a sheep?
It's a good question. But while I think of the answer, I just want to point out that because I'm terrible at trivia, I did come up with another idea that I think I'll be better at. This game inspired me to create the first ever Mishpacha approved game of Guess Who with only men. I'm looking at all these squares and I think we're onto something. But anyway, how it turns into a sheep, I believe when it turns 1 year old.
Rabbi Gluck, agree or disagree?
Yeah, I think that's the answer.
How does a cat turn into a mouse? What was the question?
Lamb becomes a sheep.
Lamb becomes a sheep. 1 year.
By the way, I was gonna go in the whole
yeah.
Shach's lamb for Pesach thing,
Exactly, and I was waiting for that, you know.
Yeah.
Just the thought of it is nice. Go ahead. Agree or disagree?
You know, I'm very, very torn. So, Judah, nobody's looking. Quickly, shake your head. Judah's laughing. I'm going to say I disagree.
The answer is a lamb becomes a sheep when it turns 1 year old. But in order to win, you must earn the square. Yeah.
I'm having a sense of deja vu.
Give me the questions.
I'm gonna go with Yumi.
All right, Yummy. Ironically enough, who can win the championship round for David Weingarten? It is Yummy Shachter.
Was he last time also for David?
No, he was not. But Yummy, I need to be really good in trivia right now.
His plans to reinstate the Sanhedrin never happened, but Napoleon did offer a handsome prize to anyone who can come up with a cheap and wholesome substitute for this food item. What was the food item?
Brain. Horseradish.
Answer's horseradish. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
The answer is butter. Congratulations, David Weingarten, who is our Holy Yid Squares champion. A big thank you to all of our celebrities. Of course, a big thank you to our contestants. Congratulations to all the winners. Big thank you to Amudim. They are presenting Holy Yid Squares and so much of this amazing programming. A big thank you to Charity Bids, who power this entire operation. And of course, a big thank you to our friends at Flow Motion here in Brooklyn, New York, an amazing studio to work with. A shout out to Dov Friedman, and a big thank you to you, our audience, for watching and for contributing. Keep the trivia going and join us on the next episode of Holy Yid Squares.